Hey guys, and welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we are going to be attempting an iron golem farm. So, I hope you guys are ready. So guys, today we're going to be taking on something a little bit more challenging. And that is, I really want to get started on making an iron golem farm. And I think this is going to be the perfect place to do it, because it is going to need a rather large area, at least for the one that I am making. Just so that way it is hopefully this will continue to work for future versions, because I am sort of moving through the different pre-releases and things like that, because right now I believe I am on version 114.4 pre-release 1. So I am continuing to update every time there's a pre-release. I am running on those just to make sure my world is continuously staying updated and we don't have any major changes that interrupt the way our world works. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. What I need to do is basically get some villagers over here, but first I want to build the structure, because I know I'm going to have a rail cart system. Since this is one of the most efficient ways to move villagers, we're going to need a rail system that is going to be efficient for that. We also need to go ahead and build our structure. Now I think this is where I want to get the villagers to set for right now. But I do want this to be the place where all of this stuff happens. And we're going to need a 9x9 area, technically, to get this started. So that is 9, like this. And then we also know that this side as well is going to end up making that a 9x9. Like that. So we just have this nice little cross here that is making sure this is a 9x9. You can see there 3, 3, 3 there, and of course same on this side, 3 on that side. So we can kind of get an estimate about how big this base plate is going to be, because we're actually going to have this going to be one more block out like this, where the water is all going to be supplied, and then it's going to be a drop chamber down below this. I want this to be the area where my actual chamber's at, so we are going to need to take this up quite a bit. For that, I have some scaffolding. What I want to do is I want to extend this up about 32 blocks. And an easy way to do that is put the amount that you want to go up in here and just right click until you reach the limit on that and you run out. So we do know that up there that is going to be 32. Pretty nice, right? So let's go ahead and head up, and we are going to have to work quite a bit on building this and getting the main structure set up. So I am using Doc's setup that was for 114.3 pre-release 1. I hope it still sort of works. If not, there are other things that we can do or other ways we can try to make an iron golem farm. It seems like through these changes, some things have been updating and some things have been worked on. So we'll have to figure that out. But if you use scaffolding, you can see we can actually place it just like this. But what I want to do is I want to use this as my main platform. Right here, right? So that's what I want to do. Now, I'm not going to use that right yet. Basically, the block that we go up is where I want my zombie to be setting. And yes, this farm is going to utilize a zombie. And I'm going to use glass so I can see it from the bottom. It is going to get a little bit dark, but I think we'll be fine up here. So the zombie is going to go here, right? We're going to expand this out, and this is going to be sort of a block space. And then we should have space down here, right here, for our villagers. And so what's going to happen is we're going to have a villager encased here, or a few villagers encased here, and a few villagers encased on this side. Just like this. And in between here, at least as showed in Doc's video, we place some trapdoors, and this will divide our villagers up. The villagers should fit into this hole and stay here. All right. So now that I have that done, I can go ahead and break this block. I know I'm going to use this temporarily as a way of getting up and down. Also should probably extend this just so I can move around. But this is basically the setup, right? This is the base setup. We need to get the entities in here now. Otherwise, they're going to be able to get out. So temporarily, I need to bring this up. I need to bring this up. But eventually, I'm going to break these. This is just so when we place the entities in here, they go exactly where they need to go, right? And that's what I want to do. But the problem is getting them up here, including the zombies. Getting the zombies up here is going to be a bit of a challenge. I'm thinking water tunnel might be the best way to do it. And actually have the water column going right here. Get the zombie to walk in, and then bam, shoot them right up. Also right here, using water columns to do that as well. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge. I'm going to go ahead and get the water columns set up, and then we're going to have to worry about getting these villagers over here, because the water columns are just going to take a little bit of time for my part. But they should pop right here, and then what I can do is use some scaffolding to get up here and just place a block directly under them where they're bouncing, and they will permanently stay there. And I think that's going to be a pretty good option. So here's a moment of truth. I'm going to try and use scaffolding here as a way of transferring these guys up using a water column. I think that is going to be maybe the best way to do it instead of building like an old-fashioned water column. I think it was way easier using scaffolding to do so. I'm going to go ahead and use some soul sand. And we also have, I hope I have, enough kelp. Oh yeah, we totally have enough kelp. It's only 32 blocks tall. So this should effectively work really well. Now the only problem is we have to use kelp first in here before we can do anything. So kelp has to place down, and us placing kelp, of course, is going to make this a solid water column going all the way up. Now I am curious, when we hit this point, yeah, this is going to probably get in the way and potentially drown our villagers, and I don't want that to happen, but I do want them to bounce right here. And I'm thinking that we might need to take this up just one more block. We'll put this up to here. And I think that will work wonderful. So, good thing about our kelp, we can go all the way down. We will finish this. Now, I gotta be careful because I don't want to be shot up myself. And that should turn into a nice little bubble column. Oh yeah. Oh man, and we get shot up there pretty easy. Now the only problem is if the villager barely gets on the edge here, then we know that it is probably not going to work. The villager will probably get stuck up there, so we might have to go up there and tap it a little bit to make sure that he goes right up inside of its bubble column. Alright, so like I said, moment of truth. We need to grab a minecart, and we're going to try also over here a different method from which we are going to get the villagers in the minecart. We'll go ahead and grab some water along the way because we are going to utilize that hopefully. And I hope this is an easier way even in the future for us to be able to get some villagers moved around. I think this farm is working perfect for a breeder. It does spawn quite a few golems, but it definitely needs something. And that is a way for villagers to get into the minecarts. And what would be a good way for that? I think maybe just breaking this hole here. And having a hole. I do have a shovel. Just sort of having a hole here in the corner that the villagers can fall in. Let's throw this here. Or that we can push them into. Either way will work. Like this guy. Like we can nudge them a little bit if we get their attention. Like if we're like, hey, I got an item in my hand. Hey, bud. Got an item in my hand. There you go. Or I'm like, hey, bud. I got an item. You want this item? You keep getting their attention. By right-clicking them with it, you know, they're like, and you can push them in. Good. Perfect. And then on the other side, what we can do is we can fix our rail cart system. And change it up a little bit. What we're going to do is we're going to break these blocks. And our rail should end up right here. I think that'll be way better. If you guys don't get what I'm doing, I'm technically going to be forcing them into a cart. Let's grab our bucket of water. So right over here, I'm going to place water. These guys are going to get pushed into the corner. Or should get pushed into the corner. I guess. Oh, this is this is blocking it. So there we go. Now they're in the corner where they need to be. If I can even get out myself. Perfect. They're getting pushed to the corner. Now, when we put a rail cart in here, they should get bumped into it properly. It should pick up one of them. There we go. Awesome. So now that they're in, we can push them up. And then they're going to get sent all the way over where they need to go. And I got to do these one by one. I know, it sounds chaotic. It is chaotic. Oh, I forgot to power this rail. So we're just going to push them up ourselves. I'll be sure to power that rail, though. There we go. On up you go. Up and over, and they should just land right there. Here's the fun parts. Again. Oh, did not mean to hurt you. Alright, so he got shot up. Whoa! So did we. And he is exactly where I want him to be. So that worked way better than I thought. Okay, so I'm going to continue to do this with the rest of them, including the zombie. The zombie is going to be pretty easy. All we have to do is literally lure him in and punch him a couple times. And we should be able to punch him into his cell. And of course the water will, the water column will work exactly the same, pushing him up. So it's going to give me a little bit. I have a little bit of clearing out of my inventory to do. And then we have some more villagers to get up there. Oh boy. So after that painstaking process, that literally took a lot longer than you guys probably thought. But it took me at least 3.5 hours, I do believe, in order to get all of the villagers over here, over and over again. And finally we have all these guys here. I did go ahead and clean up everything as so we can get ready to go for the rest of the build. But this is a lot harder to build than it looks, at least to get the entities here. The building is easy, getting these guys here not so easy. So I have my tag for this guy because I figure he will despawn if we do not put a tag on him. And his name is going to be Fred. So Fred, you will forever be Fred, and hopefully he will not despawn as long as he has that tag on him. These guys should not despawn either. There are 3 of them apiece. They have all lost their profession. And yeah, they are all plains villagers. Look at that. So yeah, they all came from over there. Well, and this guy, I have no idea what he's doing. Deciding he wants to separate, I guess. Anyways, it doesn't really matter too much as long as they're here and this guy can see them. Right now, he can't see them. So we need to fix that. And that's where these slabs are. Oh, let's also cover him up so he doesn't die. That might also help. Okay. So yeah, we have these guys doing their thing. We need to stop this from happening. So let's go ahead and put our slabs. I'm going to go up 1 block and slab them all over, including this guy. He needs a slab above him. And we also need to just go ahead and make this whole thing covered in a slab, just like this. Just like so. Perfect. And I believe this side also needs a slab. right? And these need slabs. So what we should end up with is a 5x5, I believe. Yes, a perfect 5x5 up here. And this is going to be exactly what we are needing. Now, I do need to come in here because there is a couple things that I do need to fix. And that is this glass needs to be removed because the villagers can't see him to be scared if that is there. So these, of course, need to be removed. And he picked up one of my half slabs. Or my slabs. So that should be perfect right there. Just like that. And then we can go ahead and cover that up. Alright, the next part, pretty simple. Pretty simple in this part. We want the golems to spawn up here, and we want them to roll off. So we are going to need to cover these sides here. And I don't think I brought enough to fully cover this whole thing. We'll find out. This was supposed to be one that I needed. But we have this right here. This is to prevent them from spawning. I will have to go get some more. Unfortunately, the other side is going to be the fence gates. And these are going to be pretty easy to set up. We just set them up like this. And the iron golem should be able to pass right through them. Just like so. Perfect. And we don't need this. Perfect, right? I am going to have to go down, though. I'm going to have to go get some more fence. So, for this next part, we are going to need a little bit of a water source. So I went ahead and built an infinite water source over here just for this setup. And what we're going to do is break this centerpiece. And what I did is I went ahead and just placed full blocks temporarily. And that is going to make it a little bit easier so we don't waterlog this. But what we need to do is place all the water through here. Be careful, by the way, because this can get pretty dangerous. We're going to place water on each one of these only in the center part. Just like that. Now, here is where things are going to get a little bit different. We have to break the part right here and hope that we don't mess too much up. And go ahead and replace it with slabs. And that's just to prevent us from dealing with a waterlogging issue, which will be kind of a pain in the butt if we didn't do this. So there we go. So we should end up with this. And that should be perfect. Iron golems should literally spawn right here. And what should happen is they'll go on one side or the other. Actually, they need to be... Yeah, they should spawn on one side or the other, most likely. Them being too wide, they'll probably never be stuck directly in the center here. At least it shouldn't. They shouldn't get stuck in the center anyways. So after we get all of this done, we are going to need to bring this up a little bit, because this is going to be a 2-block space away. We can actually go ahead and get rid of the water sources that we have here, because we will not need that anymore. Goodbye, water source. We will, however, still need this, because what's going to happen is the golems fall off. We don't want them to go too far. So in order to prevent that, this guy is going to break, isn't it? Let's switch over to this. We're going to need to extend this one more. Rise it up, and we're going to use this to place slabs like that. And so what we can do is we can come over here. I think if we hold shift, it'll prevent us from falling. Maybe not. I think maybe we should just build up There we go. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and extend this over like so. Just a few blocks. This is just so it gives them something to hit their head on, sort of. Over here, we can do the exact same thing. This is going to be a little bit more challenging, as I got to get up here with a block. And place a block here. Here. And one more out. And then slab from there. Perfect. And this is going to get the exact same sort of deal. Just like that. And all this is done in vanilla. Super, super simple on the building here. Perfect. And so once we get that done, break the water, get ourselves back over here. And this is going to give yourself a platform for these guys to spawn. Now that we have this ready, we know exactly where this needs to go. And we can actually already plan out where our base is going to be located and how our item filtering system is going to work. So right here is where I'm going to technically have some hoppers. This is where the hoppers are going to be. We're going to have chest areas over here. And we're going to have a killing chamber that is going to surround this. Now, I'm going to use glass for this part where you can view it. Right here, that is going to be too tall. This is just the part where you're going to see them. Now, the part that is the next is actually going to be a layer of lava, so we really don't need to see that too much. Right, we're going to have some stuff here that is going to help with that. We can actually probably go ahead and get that part set up. Might as well. So we'll grab some lava. We only need one bucket of lava, I think, for this. This is the same type of deal that I set up last time. So it shouldn't be too difficult to set up. So right in here is where our lava is going to go. So we need to place down signs that go just like this. And this is going to prevent the lava from falling in, giving these guys a too wide room so that way our items don't get burned up. And we can go ahead and fill this back in. This is of course going to get lava. And we can put one bucket of lava right here. And that is going to spread plenty for what we are going to need. That is going to be just enough. Alright, and the next one, we go up one more. And this is where our area is going to change a little bit. We also need signs right here. And that is because we have to put signs on top of each other. Which is a little bit harder to do. Because we then need to place signs like this. That's because we are going to build a water column that is going to be in a 9x9 space. Normally this isn't the best way to do this, but for our case it is going to work perfectly. So let's go ahead and get that set up. Just like this. You start it off just like so, and what you're going to need is technically 9 from the beginning. So this only needs to go one more block out. Like that. So we're really just making a 2-block ring all the way around. And there's going to be plenty of room for these golems. Plenty of space. Let's go ahead and get over here. Just like that. And then of course we can surround the edge. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna surround it with a too high section here of stone. And this is mostly for looks. You don't have to do this for looks. But I am gonna be building all the way around like this. Go ahead and surround this bad boy. And this is where we're going to place our water in. Now, for right now, I do have to grab a bit of water. And looky there. Perfect. We need one in this corner, which that actually waterlogged it. That's not what I want. Place it above. And then one over here. And then we're going to repeat. We're going to put ones in the other corners as well. We got to make sure not to place it on the slab. There we go. And just like that. And that will lead anything that falls from up here, which should spawn. They should land down here and be just fine. I don't think it works during the nighttime, as these guys, I think, have to sleep at some point. Unless things have changed. I hope the spawner works. I don't know. If not, it was an experiment that we got to try. And I definitely learned a lot about how to move villagers around. That was very interesting, to say the least. Alright, so the only other part that we need to get done is adding the hoppers to the bottom. That is the easiest part. No joke. It's literally adding our hoppers. Let's go ahead and get those. That takes no time at all. And we might even have a couple. Oh yeah, we have a few. We are going to need more though. We need 9. Actually, probably need 10. And then we'll get our chest set up. We'll figure out how many actually we need as we move up here. So I'm going to go ahead and break down here. We can go ahead and get our chest placed. I think I'm going to go with a chest here and a chest here. And we'll just line up some hoppers. I'll do one hopper here and sort of zigzag them. Alright, and it looks like we're missing one hopper. So I do need one more hopper. And then I think, well, actually, you know what? Let's change this up a bit. Because we can totally make this work with fewer hoppers. We'll just place our chests in here. And I think we can make them all 3 separate chests. Yeah, that'll work. And we'll just have 3 separate lines of hoppers. That'll work for me. I'm not gonna complain. Oh man, I do not like baby villagers. And the problem with this sword is when I set them on fire, they can set me on fire. That is not okay. I hated when that became a mechanic. Okay, we gotta get through here. Alright. I'm out. So we got this done. Looks mighty fine. The only other thing, like, I would say is maybe place half slab, or place slabs here. And we have a iron golem farm. I hope. I hope some iron golems spawn. I might have to add stuff up there to give them a profession. That's the only thing I can think that would probably prevent this from spawning anything, is maybe them not having a profession. I don't know. We'll see. I'll give it a little bit of time. So I was reading further in the comment section of Doc's video, seeing if this farm maybe was faulted in further updates, and it seems like it did change a little bit. So what I've done is I've added beds to this farm. The beds are accessible behind this. There are beds behind here. But the major thing that I did was I went ahead and I added a light or daylight sensor. And what happens is during the day, when it is daylight, the daylight sensor will be on, which means the zombie will be pushed up into the air, and thus the villagers can see it. So whenever it's nighttime, this is when the villagers are going to be able to sleep or get a break, because I do believe, I think they have to sleep from what I've been reading. So I just decided to, hey, have a sticky piston on a piece of glass. Whenever this is removed or whenever it becomes nighttime, this will drop the zombie down. They will no longer be able to see the zombie, nor so they won't be in fear of the zombie, and they'll be able to sleep. So that is my goal here. So just a little bit of redstone. I did add some beds underneath. I don't know if that is going to help either. There are 2 beds, and I also turned them all into farmers. So hopefully this will help them spawn iron golems, maybe? I don't know. If not, I don't want all this work to be for nothing. If this doesn't work, we will probably turn this into another type of farm, or we might be able to fix this farm in a future, future version. We'll see. But as of right now, I have not had any spawn, and unfortunately, that is a problem, because I really want this to work. I really want this to spawn iron golems. So I'm going to give it a little bit of time. We're going to see if we can't wait. Maybe these might change. I'm hoping there's not a village nearby that might be affecting this. We'll just have to wait and see. That's just a waiting game. But I should, when it gets dark, I should be able to see whether or not that piston is retracted or not. I should put a lamp up there to be able to say, hey, the lamp, when the lamp's on, he's up, and whenever he's not, you can see they're just going crazy up there. But it is getting dark, so we should be able to wait. That sensor should detect that, and that guy should drop. That's the plan. Not this. This is a different kind of farm. I don't know how dark it has to be for that to work. I don't know. Let's go into options. Let's kind of see. Is it going to change? I mean, it is pretty dark. Is it going to change? It's emitting a redstone signal. It should change anytime. Boy, I hope this works. And they should calm down in there, because right now they're just completely scared. Ah, there it goes. Okay, so hopefully they calm down a bit. Seems like they've calmed down a bit. They're not running so crazy. They'll probably realize he's not there. Once they become not scared, they will begin to sleep, or at least a couple will begin to sleep. And things should hopefully start working. Well, guys, so far I have nothing. So this might have been a poop show. So, anyways, I hope you guys still enjoyed today's episode. I know maybe it was just a little bit of rambling, and I don't know, I tried to make it work. We'll find out in future episodes if we start getting any drops at all. If we get any at all, it would make it worth it. But I think we might have to revisit this one in a future episode, guys. Anyways, I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, you guys know what to do. Give this video a huge thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next episode. And as always, thanks for watching.